Welcome back everyone to the State of the Nation. In our lead story tonight, the rat race has now begun to form alliances, unions and coalitions in the local government after the people of this country refused to reconfirm the same mandate provided at the parliamentary elections to the current NPP government in the local government polls. Now, all eyes are on the crucial Colombo Municipal Council. Now, after a comment made by a Minister of Tourism alluding to the fact that the government can, if they decide to place the local authorities, they don't have a majority under a commissioner, things started to get a bit dicey. I don't think he actually thought through about that comment. However, the President nor the Prime Minister has not in any official capacity confirmed this as a fact. Let's get some perspective. Once again, we wanted to get the perspective of the National People's Power Government, and we've been asking them to comment on this. However, no one wants to touch on the subject. Again, keeps us referring to that same statement that they made at the media briefing soon after elections was concluded, where they said that they will never get into an alliance with parties rejected by the people. Not gonna lie, there is a massive communication lapse with the government, especially to the English media. I too understand that many ministers are not comfortable in conversing in English. However, from the ministers who can, is not allowed to comment on matters, despite them personally assuring us that they are willing to, but needs approval from their central media command or something like that. Now, all administration, if I remember right, since 2015 botched the public game because they failed to communicate properly with the people who elected them. What was the end result? The one-term government that they got power for. The public has no clue what their leaders, their elected ones, are up to and how they are working to solve the problems of their lives. The failure to communicate with the public on what they are doing, how they are doing it, and when they can expect any result on the subject that matters to the people would indeed result in public displeasure and a loss of popularity. Now, this government claims to be a transparent government, and yet here we are scrambling to get a response for issues that matters to you. Well, one man's failure is another man's opportunity. So who's taking the opportunity to speak to the public? The opposition. Let's get the views from the two opposition parties who refused to form an alliance during the presidential and the parliamentary elections, but surprisingly did so after the local government election. The Samagi Jana Balawegaya, our nation's opposition, and the United National Party. Now joining me now is Parliamentarian Harshana Rajakaruna from our nation's opposition, the SJB. Good to see you once again, Parliamentarian. Thank you very much for joining us and speaking to us. Now, finally, there's an alliance with the United National Party, the mother party, if I may say so. Why now? Why was it so important to unite now and not before?
Thank you very much for having me. No, we have been talking with the UMP and the other opposition parties even prior to the election. And actually we know with this council elections that there will be an opportunity for the opposition parties to get together and form the local bodies. And I think that is the mandate of the people as well, where the majority was given to the opposition. So wherever the majority is given to the opposition, we have very successfully had discussions, especially with the UMP, and not only with the UMP, the other opposition parties, and we are hoping to form the local bodies along with all of them.
How exactly will this union work? Let's take the CMC for an example, Parliamentarian. If the opposition pulls in the majority, what are the arrangements there in terms of working modality and positions?
So Mahieash, I mean, we have already signed a MOU, a Memorandum of Understanding with the UMP, and so we have had very successful discussions with the other opposition political parties. So we will definitely work together with the other political parties, and when we are in the ruling party of these local bodies, we will make sure that we help all the opposition parties to come together. And of course, the whole point is to serve the public and serve the public in a very much more efficient manner. And we believe that we have a capable team. The SJB has a very capable, experienced team, and that together with the other opposition parties, we will be able to serve the people of Colombo, and not only Colombo, not only the Colombo Municipal Council, what the other opposition majority-led councils in the country.
Absolutely. Well, Parliamentarian, how do you respond to the statement made by a certain government minister who I think lightly said that these bodies which they have no majority can also be run by a commissioner and not necessarily the opposition coalition? If in a case like that, what would your party's move be?
So definitely we have to understand the rule of law. According to the law of the land, the opposition, if there is a majority, the opposition has the right to elect their own mayoral or the chairperson. So just because the opposition has the opportunity to form the local council, there is no law that the government can take over that. Therefore, whoever who's mentioning or threatening these councillors, you have to understand that we will take every action to protect the democracy of this country, protect the constitution of this country, and I'm sure even if we have to go to the courts, they will support to safeguard the democratic value of this country.
Absolutely. Well, Parliamentarian Harshana Rajakaruna from the Samagi Janabalawege, thank you very much,
Thank you very
for
much,
speaking to us. Appreciate it.